And a warm welcome back to TVB News. South Korean prosecutors questioned the chairman of the SK Group today in connection with an influence peddling scandal that has brought down former President Park Geun-hye. Chae Tae-won is the latest person to come under suspicion in connection with the widening influence peddling and corruption scandal. The former president faces allegations that she colluded with a friend, Choi Soon-sil, to pressure big businesses to donate to foundations set up to back her policy initiatives. Apart from Park and Choi, the investigation has also embroiled executives from the Samsung Group. Well, Venezuelan authorities have announced the arrest of 4 bakers who are accused of making illegal brownies and other pastries. It comes as President Nicolas Maduro's government threatens to take over bakeries in Caracas as part of a new bread war. Maduro has sent inspectors and soldiers into more than 700 bakeries around the capital this week to enforce a rule that 90% of wheat must be destined to loaves rather than the more expensive pastries and cakes. The government said at least one bakery had been temporarily taken over by authorities for 90 days. It's the latest move by the government to combat shortages and long lines for basic products that have characterized Venezuela's economic crisis over the last 3 years.
Back in Hong Kong, the Elderly Commission is expected to submit a report on better elderly care services around the middle of the year. The Commission's chairman, Lam Ching-choi, told TVB News today that the city is now relying too much on homes for the aged. Instead, he believes we must find a sustainable way to look after Hong Kong's growing elderly population. Adam Shu reports.
According to a government estimate, for every 3 local residents, there will be 1 above 65 years old by 2041. To help step up services for the elderly, the government has set aside $30 billion in its latest budget.
It is absolutely timely because we are going to finish our elderly service program plan very soon. And we have 20 major recommendations to the government. And I believe quite a number of these recommendations need money to implement.
Among them are measures to reduce the overuse of care homes that house about 7% of the city's elderly people, the highest in the world. Lam called this unfortunate.
I can't imagine any elderly would like to have their last stage in a setting which is not familiar to them. According to various surveys, around 80% of them will say, even when I get frail, please don't let me into the elderly home. By the year of 2026, we'll have a shortfall of 16,000 beds. We need to compress the need or to shorten the queue for the elderly homes by improving our community services so that they can age in place.
Lam also called for a system to assess what level of attention a senior resident needs so that services can be used in a more efficient and individualized manner. But even that doesn't address a bigger concern of the Elderly Commission chairman.
With our aging population, our volume of services needs to be increased in a double and triple manner. But with our low tax system, I don't think we have a sustainable financing system to support that.
A recent visit to Japan has convinced Lam that a long-term care insurance system can provide a solution. Under the scheme, the government, employers and employees will share their expenses, and the elderly would have a greater choice in terms of services and service providers.
Our whole society hasn't discussing this yet. And also when we look at our medical insurance, it takes a long time for us to really discuss and build a consensus. So I'm looking forward to kickstart our discussion on long-term care insurance system very soon.
Adam Chu, TVB News.
All right, Tony, what's in sport tonight?
Well, we serve up some tennis, but we begin with basketball. NBA and John Wall dished out a career high of 20 assists to help his Washington Wizards beat the Chicago Bulls at home. Jeff Tang takes a look.
The Wizards host the Bulls in the capital, with both teams having lost their previous game.